Drones keep driving the conversation in New Jersey, and even as it seems that high-level officials are being clued in on what's happening, the public is not. Governor Murphy issued a word of caution on the hysteria that's been building, urging everyone to calm down. He shared that the federal government has sent very sophisticated systems to help the New Jersey State Police detect and track the objects, noting they have a range of 15 miles and are moving around the state, and that there's little to no evidence of any suspicious activity. But for many lawmakers, that's simply not enough information. Gubernatorial candidate and Congressman Josh Gottheimer is with us now to share his next steps for addressing these drones. Congressman, it seems these drones are top of mind for just about everyone here in New Jersey, and now nationally we're seeing it driving the conversation, but still no answers as to what they are, why they're here. You introduced legislation called the RADAR Act. What would that do?
So basically it would give local law enforcement the tools they need to actually monitor what's going on, right? So they can have eyes on the sky locally and then be able to coordinate properly with federal law enforcement who's in charge of this, the federal officials and the departments, to be able to respond if a drone is somewhere it shouldn't be, right? Over an airport, a reservoir, a military base, to be able to actually know what's in the sky. And as you know, what's really frustrating about this for so many people is they're seeing these drones with their own eyes, and they're being told, hey, you're not seeing anything. This radar will actually help you, and this bipartisan legislation, help law enforcement capture what's in the sky so we can respond properly.
Yeah, you said bipartisan. You worked with Representative Nicole Malliotakis from New York on this. Who knew drones could bring us together, right? But we heard DHS Secretary Mayorkas say this weekend that he called on Congress to pass legislation that would give state and local governments more authority to be able to respond to these types of things. Does the RADAR Act actually achieve that?
It does. It's exactly what it sounds like the secretary was asking for, right? For local law enforcement to have the tools they need to respond. You know, the first thing that I've called for, which I think is so critically important, is for the federal agencies like the Department of Homeland Security, and the secretary admitted there's drones up there and people are seeing drones. He said that this weekend, to give them and the FBI, who's the lead agency on this, the tools they need, but also encouraging them to come clean with the public, like actually just do a proper briefing and press conference with the public and just tell them what's going on. You know, I think it's incredibly frustrating for people when their government, the federal government, the agencies responsible for this don't come out and actually explain things and take questions and actually provide some answers.
Yeah, to that point, when they don't do that, conspiracy theories abound. The latest that I've heard is about this nuclear warhead that's missing somewhere in the United States, and that perhaps these drones are searching for it. My question to you is, if there is some bigger mission, or if that theory were to be true, does it justify keeping the public in the dark with all of the speculation and fear that's abounding?
Well, in general, I don't think it's helpful when there's a huge vacuum of information. As you just pointed out, everyone then comes up with different theories. That's not helpful. What I always believe is the best thing is transparency about these issues. Let people know, here's what we do know, right? And explain to them what, you know, not only what's up there, but also steps the government is taking to make sure that we keep people safe. You know, and I've gotten several briefings now from the FBI and DHS and others, and spoken to the governor about this. And I feel comfortable saying and confident saying that I don't think there's any imminent threat to public safety. That still doesn't answer the question people have a right to know of what's going on. And that's where I've said, let's get out there. I've started a tips line on my website that lots of people are seeing things to help aggregate that information. And then I'm sharing that with not only law enforcement, with the FBI, but with on the Intelligence Committee to make sure the intelligence community receives that information. And then that we pass legislation like the RADAR Act that's bipartisan, that gives local law enforcement who are getting the brunt of this the tools they need, not just now, but in the future, to be able to respond, to ensure that we don't have drones in places like over reservoirs or at airports or over our military bases where they've been sighted, right, where they've been seen, to make sure that drones aren't in places they shouldn't be. People are going to have recreational drones, of course. We know that, over the beach or in their backyard. But the bottom line is these large drones that they're not authorized. Are they licensed?
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing there? That's where people have a right to have better information. And the FBI and DHS should stop delaying, should get out there and do a proper public briefing.
All right, Congressman Josh Gottheimer, thanks for taking a few minutes today.
Thanks. This can't be the Wild West of drones in Jersey. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.